Now we'll look at setting up a reference image in our 3D view. Alright, so we'd like to have some sort of reference as we start to model here. So I've just middle clicked in our view, and I want to go to the right view. Alright, and I want to come down to Options, Configure. So that'll show our viewport configuration. And I want to go to the Back tab here. And then under Image, you'll see there's a spot to put in a file. So let's go ahead and open that up. So then you want to navigate to your project files, and under Images, you'll find this Spinosaurus side view. So we'll go ahead and open that up. And that's going to go ahead and bring it into our 3D view. Okay, so at this point, we can come down here, and I don't like the white, and everything is just kind of too bright. So I want to go ahead and add some transparency to this. We just want enough of the image that we can kind of see it against our model. Okay, I'm also going to put the feet up on the floor or the bottom of the axis here, and so let's go ahead and offset this in the Z. Go ahead and kind of pull that up a little bit, and I also want to sort of pull it. Sorry, let me undo that. Offset it a little bit in this direction, so it's kind of centered a little more. Alright, so we get something like that. If you want to size it up, you can do that as well. You want to make sure you have the keep aspect ratio on, and then if you want to scale that up, depending on what you want to do. Again, I need to move that just up a little bit, just so it's right on the ground. Move it back a little, and you can position it however you want. Actually move this like that. Alright, so now if we were to go in and add geometry, you can see that we can see through this geometry. Our display is set to lines, and so we can come in and actually see the image behind it, which is going to allow us to match our modeling with an image that's behind it. If you ever need to change anything, again, you want to go into your viewport, and you can see it's in the right view. You can add others in your other views if you want. But here in the right view, go to Options, Configure, and you can see in your back. If you ever want to turn this off and not be able to see it, but you still want it loaded up, you can go ahead and just hit this Show Picture, and it's still there. You can turn it on at any time, but now you can just turn this off and on. Alright. Okay, so we've got our reference image loaded up. The next thing that we need to do is start to break this down and figure out what we actually want to build first. Now, something like this, you start to look at the big main shapes, okay? And so what I see here is I see a long sort of cylindrical shape. You sort of eliminate the outlying pieces a little bit. So, imagine this sail is not on there. Imagine the legs and arms aren't on there. And what you get really is a long cylinder. Okay, so I think that's probably a good place to start, and then you can start to add on geometry like this sail and like this front leg and this back leg, and then these come later because they're really small, and the head will take a little bit more work, but it's kind of attached to the end of the cylinder. But basically from here all the way down to the end of the tail, all the way along here is basically a cylinder with some pieces sticking out of it. Okay, so you want to really take some time and just kind of look over what it is you're going to build before you start, and then you get a better idea of the kind of geometry that you want to build first. Okay, and working with polygons is going to be good because we can come in and we can use some of these generators to create the initial geometry, but then we can start to cut things apart and connect them really, really quickly. Okay, so we don't have to worry about a lot of technical stuff. We can just kind of weld points together to start to put all these pieces together, and it's going to come together really quick. That's one of the powers of working with polygons. You've got a lot of flexibility in creating different shapes and different configurations and how the edges flow and how things are connected, and you can make that all seamless using polygons. Okay, so let's go ahead in the next lesson and start to build up the main body. So we talked about this main sort of cylinder shape. We'll look at one of the ways that we can build this up really, really quickly. And so we'll go ahead and do that in the next lesson.